Live and direct. Leaving the dream of hell. Boom! I'm back. Live and direct. Yeah. And leaving the dream of hell. Finally. And the nonsense. I think that's what's happening. Looks like it. Looks like I have enough of the nonsense and the dream of hell. So now it's more nature vibes. It's more nature vibes. It's more... it's time, I think, also to become less self-obsessed. That's very, very on point. Great hangout with Arthur last night. Great stuff. And because I had a list of stuff that I wanted to go through with him about signs of self-absorbed people. But I didn't have a chance to go through the whole list. We get so... the chat gets so intense that sometimes don't even have time to go through all my stuff. But I have another channel called Motivation Academie, and I come every morning, so every day, every morning. Like Arthur told me, he said, Yannick, stop freaking out with the words. He said, as long as you're aware of the deeper programming behind it, he said, you should not let it influence you. He said, don't freak out with all that stuff. So maybe, yeah, sometimes I think I'm freaking out a bit too much for the words that I use. But it's just because I want to get it. I might freak out like that for a year or 2 years, and then it will be implemented in my head, and I won't have to freak out anymore. So that's how I see it. So yeah, becoming less self-obsessed is very important, because this is how also we're going to activate the drive for connection, the drive for caring, the drive for contribution, the drive for our magnificence to take life. So it's very important that we become less self-absorbed, self-obsessed, with all the nonsense, with the dream of hell. The dream of hell, it's enough. We have to realize altogether that, I don't know, me, it's easy to see. It's easy to see our evil ways. I think everyone can see their evil ways also. Not so much as evil. We don't see it as something evil, as living in the hell. But it's the hell is in our mind. It's in our mind. It's all in our head. What you experience is your perception of reality, your perception of life, and that's what you'll experience in your everyday life. So be very wise in the way you see things. Sometimes it's good to change the way we see things, the way we see others also. The way we see others, because we see others as strangers. Like I said the other day, but we are brothers and sisters. That's what we are. For sure, brothers and sisters with very twisted, fucked up mind. I give you that. Some have very fucked up mind, are very violent. They go to extreme violence. Even like we have lost our way on so many levels. Because there is so many devils on so many levels, oh Jah. Yeah, keep them away from me. Keep the evilest ones away from me. Yeah. Teacher D. Yeah. So they are always on the defensive. That's what people that are on the defensive, it's very, very... They take things personal. They take things personal. If you take things to a personal level, yeah, you're very catch up and all that nonsense. And I think, for my part, it wasn't so hard to liberate myself from that nonsense. I don't think it's the work is so hard. It's just to keep the flame alive. This is what, starting a fire. Starting a fire, it's pretty easy to start a fire sometimes. If your wood is not wet. But it's easy to start a fire, but to maintain the fire, you got to constantly put stuff in it. So you got to constantly nourish your dream, nourish it constantly. If I don't, to me, I have to prove myself to myself before I prove myself to others. I don't have nothing to prove to anyone. I don't think I'll have anything to prove to anyone. Never. It's about looking in the mirror or looking in the camera here, like I say, this is like a mirror for me. It's the same thing. I look myself there. It's like a freaking mirror. So it's very important that I get that look, and that I, constantly, day after day, go after the dream of life. Start build my dream and attach it to a bigger dream, that's what we're here to do. We're here to dream. Hello, that's the essence of life, dreaming, imagining stuff, and so that's what we must put it to the test. That's the hard part, is to put our dream to the test and make it materialize. But that's where everybody have vision. Everybody can, but most people have a dream to have a lot of money. That's the dream of most people, is having a lot of money and having a big house, a big car, a big like I said, my dream is first of all to see people unite, to see people wake up and go after their greatness, because just there's got to be a starting point for humanity in the process of recovering from our health state. Recovering from our evil stuff, there's got to be a process. It's not going to happen drastically, bang, one shot. No, it's going to be gradually. And even your process of recovering, of healing, if you're not capable of self-healing, also, it's because you're very, very self-absorbed. Usually people, you can self-heal if you're connected to the source, for sure. So people don't see the big picture. Also, people that don't see the big picture, a self-absorbed person thinks the world is just about them. Thus, the world, from their point of view, is a place comprising them and perhaps a few person around them who they can control. How the world affects other people really doesn't concern them. There's some people that the fact that we can't see the big picture, I've never seen it. I've never seen it because I was in comfort. You remain in a comfort zone, and once you remain in a comfort zone, forget about it. Nothing happened there. Nothing happened there. It's going to be the same button every day. Bang, bang. Pressing the same button, going back to work with your little lunch and coming back home and taking care of your family and sit in front of the TV, watch hockey, and go to bed and repress the same button. So that's the life. That's a default state. But there's something you can have in your life. It's called the dream, some goals to wake up every day with a fire in your eyes, with a fire in your heart, and the will to conquer it. That's my will every day. I'm finishing this and I'm outside at the training spot. That's nonstop, my thing. It's I gotta reflect. I gotta break the walls to myself. That's what I told you. I gotta find the keys and break the walls to myself. So for that, I gotta work on myself, and I have to reflect on my journey. Make sense of life. I gotta make sense of life once before I go somewhere else in another realm, or maybe there's nothing after too. Maybe there's nothing after. We have to consider the possibility that there's absolutely nothing. So that's why it's important to live our dreams. My channel here is designed for us to elevate. That's why I started this. I wanted to stay motivated, because it's a challenge. It's first of all a personal challenge to stay motivated. I think you know what I'm talking about. You have to really kick yourself in the butt every day and go forward. But most people stay on pause. You stay on pause with your dreams, stay on pause with your greatness, shrink from it. We're shrinking everything. Even the hurt is shrinking, is collapsing, like Red Rose said yesterday. It's collapsing because the weather is changing, because our minds are not very much aligned to positive stuff. And if we put all our minds together, I'm sure we can have a better outcome here. And come on, our existence would be so much more vital, and we would all have vitality for life. That desire to not to catch our dreams, but to go after it. That's what we have to spark into the mind of people and get them out a bit of the comfort zone. This is what I give myself as mission is to constantly me staying out the comfort zone and also inspiring other people to move out the comfort zone if I can. I'm not gonna change you. I might change some stuff, but I mean it's a personal thing to grow. To grow is a personal thing. I might inspire you. I might do something for sure, but I mean it's not about me. It's about the message. It's about us waking up. It's about us leaving the dream of hell. There's no relevancy so much in me leaving the dream of hell if the whole world is still in hell. So we have to move out the dream of hell together. It's together. It's like anyway, once one start to move out the dream of hell, we all gonna start moving out the dream of hell. It's gonna have an effect they cannot stop. They cannot stop that ripple effect. It's gonna have a ripple effect, that awakening for sure, and that's something they cannot stop. So just catch the vibe. Catch the vibe. There's so much more vibes to life than what we've been taught. Life is so much more beautiful than we know. Life is so much bigger than what we know. Life is so much bigger than our life. But no, we think our life is life. We think that's life. No, but life is much bigger than that, and we have to get in touch. Anyway, I have to. I don't care. People want to keep sleeping and sit on their ass all their life. Me, I'm not sitting no more. I'm into action every day, and we'll see what happens with this. But definitely not time to sit down and rest. And I'll rest. I'll have time to rest when I die. That's where I'm gonna rest. And anyway, I rest enough. It's not about resting. It's about action. We want action. We want, especially, really clearly defined goals. You know, clarity is power. So if we start having clarity also for our dream of life together, which is what is intended for us, what you tell me, this place is intended for us to suffer, and that's how come we have abundance like this. We have so much food, so much variety, so much stuff, abundance. So you tell me we're made to live in hell, in scarcity and stuff like that. No, that's a system that caused this. This place is intended to be very, very divine, to have a very divine experience of life. But we have corrupted the dream. We have corrupted the dream, and we corrupt everything. We even corrupt ourselves into this dream of hell. So start building the dream of life. Start working on your dream. Have something to look for every day. You know, it's gonna bring joy. Also, it's gonna bring joy, not only vitality, joy, and happiness, and all kinds of good vibration into your life. It's a must. It's a must that we start feeling life on a deeper level. That's what, and sensing life. So leaving the nonsense, leaving the Babylon realm of nonsense is very, very important. Very important. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay, okay. I'm back. Yeah, it's time to get out. Time to get out. Me anyway. Me, I'm done with the nonsense. Especially, like I said yesterday, my goal is not to be on YouTube and be a star on YouTube. I want to be a star with nature. I want to be a star in nature and grow fantastic plants and have food and let depend less on corporations and people like that to feed me. I want to take ownership for my life, and take ownership means growing my food the most possible what I can do. There's stuff I will not be able probably to grow. I'll have to buy, but I can grow a lot. There's so much we can do if we give ourselves the chance. But we don't give ourselves so much chance either. We're very, very. We like comfort. We like comfort. We like to just. We're very. We get caught up in leisure and pleasure a lot, and that prevents us from growing a big deal because we're in pleasure. we enjoy every little pleasure in Babylon, and can become distraction from your greatness. It's gonna make you shrink. It's gonna make you shrink. We don't want to shrink. I want to tour the world, sing and dance on each land. Yeah, that's for sure part of the dream of life, to visit the earth. That's another thing. Most people have very like me, very they don't travel too much. I have never very traveled in my life. Went to Vancouver, went to the States, but that's about it. I would like to move out, but that's the reality of many people. There's people that never got out their village. Imagine. Me, at least, I went to the other end of the country, Vancouver. But there's people that will not travel. They will not even get out. They have problem getting out their house. They're so in fear and in doubt, and sometimes you can feel the fear. It's collected. It's harvested collectively. It's harvested collectively, the fear, and we collect that, and we I don't know, nonsense. To me, nonsense. Move out, get out your house, and that I was distracted by my garden. He didn't understand anything. My garden is not distraction, is the only thing that counts. But it should not be the only thing that counts. To me, it's not the only thing that counts. What counts for me is us. It's us. It's us. It's the beings. The plants, yeah, they matters for me to eat, but inspiring my brothers and sisters here, it's what counts for me. The returning to nature is very important, but the constant realization and self-realization, and that's what really counts for me. No, I'm not attached. I'm not attached to my garden. I don't think we should have attachment like that. That's my point of view, Cindy. You can be very, very attached to your garden, but I think this is also it turns into self-obsession. It turns into an obsession. We should not have attachment. That's my point of view. You might not agree with me, but that's my point. I'm not attached to my garden. I'm not attached. I'm attached to humanity. This is where I'm attached to. I'm attached to my brothers and sisters. Waking up, me getting in touch with the dream of life. That's an obsession. Greatness is an obsession, but my garden and other stuff external, not so much, because it can be taken away from me at any time by nature. Nature can come and fucking take the whole garden. So I'm not attached to it. I just hope the good frequency will be there to help me harvest good food, but I'm not really attached to it. I'm attached to greatness. I'm attached to greatness, and I don't want to have attachment to stuff that distract me, because that's what's happened when you pour your whole consciousness into something. It's going to become a distraction. That's what it is. That's how I see it. You got to balance your stuff. Me, I balance online motivation. Like, I'm not always in my garden. Like, now I don't bother with the garden this morning. I'm going outside. That's the priority is really connecting with my higher self, if we want to call it this way. But that's just my you will find yourself in nature for sure. Nature helps to get back into alignment, for sure. But I mean, we should not pour our whole consciousness into it, because we must cultivate the dream of life together. And must cultivate food, but we must cultivate the dream of life, and that's essential for us to move forward as humanity. We need to do something, each and everyone on our side, building that kingdom type of thing that Arthur's talking about. I'm not saying to adapt absolutely his model, but start to grow your own food. Grow your food. Be more self-reliant, less reliant on the freaking corporations to feed us. That's a good start. And start little by little, start growing one tomato plant if you want one summer. See how you do with this. And then the next year you go bigger and bigger, and that's how it happens. You get experience into everything you do. If you do it, anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly until you get it right. That's why I'm here every morning. I know If I do it enough, if I do it with enough consistency, I will get it right. That's inevitable. That's something, that's a process you cannot, that's a natural law. A natural law. We don't like law. I don't need law to govern me, but, but you should not understand also. You should overstand what I'm telling you. If you understand, you're under. You should overstand things. And my point of saying, no, I'm not saying it's, but if you are just absorbed by that little thing in your life, it's an obsession. It's an obsession. Whoops, the police. Early for the police. Big sirens in the village, and they like that, and they like that. They like that sound. They know it puts people in fear. And me, I don't give a shit. But don't live by others' idea of you. Do you? Yeah, getting back to the earth, grounding is a good start to the inner journey. Yeah, but also, like if you're very, very caught up in gardening, and you don't look outside of yourself or inside, like you're just stuck. Like, I mean, this can become a distraction, just like riding your bicycle every day, 8 hours a day. It keeps you away from the true purpose. That's what I mean. It's not to not do gardening. It's not what I mean, but don't pour your whole consciousness into something. It's going to become an obsession. That's how people fall into drugs and to addiction stuff, and for sure. Anyway, that's my point of view. I don't. My priority number one, for sure, is the dream of life. Is leaving the dream of hell, and that leaving the dream of hell, gardening comes with it. It's part of it, for sure. But it's not the only thing. That's the thing. I think you get my point. Self-absorbed people, let's see that. They are imposing. They are imposing, yeah. People that use words like should, must, they want to dominate in any relationship because they see relationship as a tool for getting what they want and making themselves the center of attention. Many like to be the center of attention. Me, I seek respect, not attention. Don't give a shit about attention. I don't care. Like, seriously, it's just... I really care about what I think of what I do, about being true to myself. Being true to myself is very important. The rest of the... I cannot control what people think, what people do. I can only... There's only a certain amount of stuff you can control. And for that amount of stuff you can control, you should really try to control it. Because you can find so much power in this, so much power, and not try to be the impose your reality or your vision on others is very important. Like, I come here, I don't tell you what to do. You do what you want with your life. Me, I'm coming to speak my mind and the way I see life, the way I see things. Because we all see things from our own perspective. Even if I... say this and that, at the end, it's your own decision, and it's my own decision what I do. It's not... other people's opinion of me will not become my reality. And my opinion of you, but I don't have an opinion so much. I'm not a very opinionated kind of person. Some people, and that's another point here, people that are self-obsessed are extremely opinionated. Extremely opinionated. This is the stuff we have to clear off our programming that we've been given, because we've been very, very caught up in self-obsession. Myself, for sure, for a long time. For a long time, until I started to look out and see my brothers and sisters as something more than strangers. And then I said, whoa. What's going on with us? Time to build the dream of life. Yeah, leaving the dream of hell. They are extremely opinionated. It is always about their opinions. They do not want to consider the opinion of others. Due to their self-absorption, they are consumed by their own point of view, self-image, desires, and preference. So I told you yesterday I printed all the chat, all the stuff you guys put in the chat in the Truman show. I printed off and I send it to Arthur. Arthur's gonna do something with it. He's gonna write articles and papers probably. There's a lot of good comments, and I'm very, very always. I told you I always welcome comments here in the chat or whatever. You say Arthur is very self-absorbed. I don't think so. I think Red Rose. I seen your I seen your comments yesterday on the Truman show. You were going hard, and after I don't know. I think you take things a bit too personal. I read your comments. It's my point of view. I think Red Rose, you take things a bit too personal. And she's not about bashing women, and he's not about being the king. And someone has to do that work. Someone has to do it. Some have to lead us outside that dream of hell that we're in. For sure, but we're not there to. We're there to build the bridge. We're going to build the bridge, but once we're on the other side of the bridge, you take care of yourself. I'm not there to save you. We can build a bridge all together. There's leaders building bridges to the dream of life right now, happening. But once we cross that bridge, don't come to me to save you. It ain't going to happen. You got to save yourself. That's what we said. So we're not about leading and taking advantage of people. We want to lead people, lead them outside the misery and the dream of hell. But after that, it's your own decision what you do. So I don't think we're there to... we're not self-absorbed. People, anyway, people will have opinion of you, whatever you do, especially online. The moment you go online and you start speaking public, people are going to have opinion. People are very, that's what I told you, people that are very opinionated, it's a self-absorbed trait. So be very careful the way you, anyway, I think we all have a certain dose of self-obsession. We are all self-obsessed because that's the ego base, I think, is the self-obsession. You got to cultivate the self-obsession to build a bigger ego. But we all have a bit of self-obsession, even me, for sure. That comes with, but I think it's to be aware of the self-obsession is very important. But we all have self-obsession. Even all of you watching me now, we're all self-obsessed, for sure. But it's to recognize it and to not be attached so much to that ways of living, of being self-obsessed, and more towards the whole. That's how I see it. Yeah. You didn't get the Alice and Mary thing. That's all. They are fine. Yeah. No, nothing personal. But the Alice and Mary in Wonderland, the Alice in Wonderland, that's why he keeps explaining it. So many people still do not. And that's the base principle of all his explanation. That's the base of it. So I suggest you go watch his video and go on Arthur's channel. He has a lot of stuff. He can explain it to you from his own word, but I'll ask him to come back on this topic of Alice in Wonderland, because that's what we are in a fantasy land. So, yeah. So big up everyone. Have a good one. And that's why I wrote about egos and everyone is, everyone is self-absorbed. Don't put yourself on the... I am self-absorbed too. Look at the logo here. This is self-obsession, but I don't let it get to me and be all absorbed by it and be my only point of interest in life. Like, it's not it. It's not about this. I say it. It's not about it. It's not about me. It's about us. So, right, when you make the shift inside, because the programming is still there, the bad vibes, the nonsense, it's still all around. Even if you say you're moving out the dream of hell, you're still in freaking hell. You're moving out in your mind, but the world around you is still freaking hell. People suffering and nonsense and manipulation and lies and deception and bring it on. Babylon is very wicked, very evil. So we have a choice. Get a choice. Dream of hell or dream of life. You make your choice. Me, I have made mine. I'm starting to build the bridge. I'm going to get to the other side one day, break the walls to myself, find the keys to my heart. The heart of gold, and I will move out this nonsense realm of. But the realm is only in my head. It's in my everything I experience as nonsense, and it's in my head. So I just gotta stay focused on the dream of life, and stop building the dream of hell and my evil ways, and get rid of it, and align with more love and more compassion and good vibration. So I'm out, going to my chilling spot, and I'll be back later on. Yeah, we're all innocent. We're all innocent. Don't be offended by anything I say here. Don't take anything personal. We're here to grow. We're here to grow. We just woke up and realized that the whole world was lies and deception. So we're here to grow together. Don't take nothing personal. Some morning I might be more harsh than other. That's the way I am. But that's life. Take it as it is. And I'll be back another now. He's out. Rise and shine. Live your dreams.